So last night I decided to post a video of my COVID reaction that's been going on for 5 weeks now. I debated a long time about posting it and ultimately decided to do so because I'm just very curious about other people's experiences and kind of want to know I'm not alone, even though the doctors tell me I'm not. So I'm going to do a quick run through about what happened, kind of where I stand on it, and just to kind of fill you in. I don't like a bunch of part videos, but it is what it is. I'll try to make them as quick as possible. So let's call this part 1. So last night I decided to post a video of my COVID reaction that's been going on for 5 weeks now. I debated a long time about posting it and ultimately decided to do so because I'm just very curious about other people's experiences and kind of want to know I'm not alone, even though the doctors tell me I'm not. So I'm going to do a quick run through about what happened, kind of where I stand on it, and just to kind of fill you in. I don't like a bunch of part videos, but it is what it is. I'll try to make them as quick as possible. So let's call this part 1. So the next day I woke up and I was feeling better after that steroid shot. I was doing what I needed to do, just trying to take it easy, trying to recover. My eyes weren't really swollen. I still had the rash that was pretty intense, and it was kind of intensifying. But everything was good. I talked to my doctor. We came up with a plan. She told me to call urgent care because she was going out of town, if I needed another steroid shot, because they said they could do that. And so I was like, cool. Next morning, woke up, tried to take my medicine, throat was swollen, couldn't swallow my pills. It was terrifying, and I decided to call urgent care because I could still breathe, and we'll pick up on the next part. So as you can see in the pictures, my throat was swollen, couldn't swallow pills. I just had to get another steroid. There wasn't really much they can do. I mean, I was on the verge of being in the hospital. There was this debate back and forth on if I should be in the hospital or not. Ultimately, the steroid they gave me did help start to take away that issue. It did. They had me on a high dose of steroids. I think I was on 60 milligrams of steroids outside of that. And I just felt like I was out of my mind. I was on a bunch of antihistamines, just trying to work through it, but things did start to improve. The following Thursday, a week after that steroid shot, things took a turn for the worse again. At this point, my doctor was out of the office, and so I'd been seeing the same urgent care people, so I just continued to see them per her recommendation, and they told me there really wasn't anything they could do. Again, on the verge of going to the hospital. I was very sick. I felt like I had acid coming out of my eyes. I don't know how to describe that because I do have allergies in my eyes, but it was so intense. Felt like there was acid in my mouth, but it wasn't coming up from my throat, not to be gross. But it was just awful. Awful and painful, and the arm rash was worse, and I still was getting hives. So the only thing that they could do was tell me to increase the prednisone again, since we had decreased it, and to stay there until I could get additional medical help from specialists. So at this point, I had an appointment with my doctor since she was back in town, on the higher steroids still. She literally didn't know what to do with me. She'd never seen it before. So she had her fellow doctors come into the office because I'm like, people keep saying it's the COVID vaccine. It's not. Like, I don't know why it's still in my system. This is weird. I haven't added anything new. I've been very careful about what I've been doing. Yeah. Well, as soon as one of her coworkers came in, one of the other doctors came in, their first reaction was, this is the COVID vaccine. And in my head, I'm like, are you kidding me? Second opinion, got one of the most experienced doctors to come in, same reaction. They had both seen this in a couple of other people, and my mind was kind of blown. So if you know me, I do have reactions from time to time. I'm actually in the process of being tested for all kinds of stuff. I have reactions to like gluten, not to everything. It's really like gluten and like seasonal allergies. We'll find out what else it is in the future and I'll share. But it wasn't anything concerning for the COVID vaccine. So when they said that, I kind of just laughed like, of course it is. Of course it is. Like, I would be the one for that to happen to. My family has had Moderna, no issues. My husband had it, no issues. I know a lot of people who have had it with no issues. So my mind was just like in shock. Still kind of is. But we decided to continue to seek specialist treatment. You know, I've been to the allergist. They're sending me to like a special allergist that deals with stuff like this today. So we'll see what they say. So I also want to add, I mentioned I've been to allergist. I'm going to another one today. I've been to a dermatologist. They haven't seen anything like this, but they did, like the ones I've seen so far, did say that this is something that a GP would be more likely to see. And like I said, 2 of the 3 GPs in the office that I go to have seen it. Almost identical cases in what they've seen. Right now we're waiting for some final things, and then I guess I'm getting reported to the CDC. In all fairness, I'm still on a high dose of steroids. We can't take them off when we try to. Things flare up. Obviously, my skin is healing in a slow process, and a lot of what I'm dealing with is internal. I suffer from anxiety, and so the steroid doesn't help with that. And so we're having to balance out all these different pieces of it. With all of that being said, I will continue to deal with treatment. They so far say that steroids really are the only thing that treat it over like 2 to 3 months. Hopefully we're going to be coming off of that soon, or trying to reduce soon. Also on antihistamines. I'm on like 5 million different things. Some of it's to counter out the side effects of the steroid, and so on. But with all that being said, I'm one person out of millions, and I know that there are other people with the reaction, but I still think that getting the vaccine is in the best interest of most people. Most people are not going to react the way I do. I don't know anyone else that has, and I'm interested to find out why I did, and I'll be happy to share that with you. But please consider it. If you think it might be an issue, talk to your doctor first. And in case you're curious, I do have kids. Was totally on board with getting them the vaccine when time comes, but we will be talking to their doctor before we do that. Again, I think it's in their best interest to, but I don't want them to go through what I'm going through. Again, it's healing on the outside, but internally it's a struggle. Yesterday was like a huge thing because I was able to go to Target for like 30 minutes just to get a few things and didn't have any issues. The weekend before, I'd gone to Costco thinking, I'll be fine, you know, we're 4 weeks in. No, it made me have one of the worst weekends that I've had because I felt so awful. So even though it's not visible, the internal struggle that's going on right now and kind of working through my system is not a fun experience. So with that, I will keep you posted on updates just out of curiosity. And if anyone else is sharing this, experiencing these symptoms, please seek help. If you've had a COVID vaccine and you start to have weird allergic reaction symptoms, it could just be something else, but be safe, take care of yourself. And I also wanted to throw it out there. If you've had this, please reach out to me. I'm very curious about what you're going through, what your treatment's like. I am just ready to be past it. I mean, it's summertime and I have to stay cold. I can't really do all the stuff I wanted to do. But I am happy to still be here, especially after the doctor told me that if I ever get a booster, I would die, and that I'm lucky I didn't die with this. So, stay safe. It's hot in Texas, so if you hear the air conditioner, sorry. Just wanted to do another quick update. Just left the allergist. Good news is there is another medication that we're going to do so we can start decreasing the steroid, but continuing to suppress the inflammation. He did confirm that this was a drug reaction, most likely related to the COVID vaccine. Because of the time span and because of everything else going on, he can't 100% confirm that, but just based off of everything and based off of what the other doctors had seen and the timeline, that's where he sees it. The one thing that he noted is that it wasn't necessarily the mRNA that's in it. It could have been some other piece of the vaccine that triggered this. So we're going to do some more testing, and we'll see where that goes. Keep you posted.